Alright, we're back in the main room. So that neck is nice and shiny now, that fretboard. So all I got to do is polish up the guitar, slap some strings on it, and start doing the setup. Just polishing up the guitar there. And one thing to note is now that these tuners are all snugged up, there's like no play in these posts whatsoever. They're super nice and snug. So good job, WestCreek, on your heavy metal V guitar. Alright, here's where stuff will begin to slow down probably. So I'm going to try and install these strings. So I'm going to cut the ball end off. I'm going to grab my middle one. Alright, so this is going to go right in here. You can see where it goes, and it doesn't go very deep. Just kind of slide that in there, and we'll snug it up. Ideally, if you had a screwdriver, you could go, a long shaft screwdriver with one of these. You could go from the end. I don't have that tool accessible. Well, actually, just hold on. So I got this long shaft. It's an extension, kind of a socket thing. And then I have a little Allen bit that I found in one of my toolboxes. That's magnetic, and that'll work great. Now I can do this. Perfect. I just got to make sure that string is in there, and I can snug it up. And I'll use the Allen wrench to like fully tighten it in place. We'll do one more. Cut off. Shove that in there. Snug it up. Piece of cake. Alright, I'll come back when the other ones are all done. Okay, so now, got all the strings in there. I just got to snug up these locking pins so that they are nice and clamped. So as soon as these don't move anymore, that's it. They're seated, and that's good enough for me. Alright, done. So now I'm going to restring through the tuners, and then we'll do the final setup. Alright, strings are on. So this worked out okay. There was no way in good conscience I was going to make you watch me wind strings across 6 posts live on video. Anyway, it's pretty simple. This is the part that's important on these. This winds typically the same as any other guitar. So if you can do that, you can do this. There, alright, so now the basic setup begins with the acronym TRAIN. So tune, relief, action, intonation, and nut will not be an issue because there is none on this one. You could file, I guess, this metal nut if the action was really high at the first fret, but it's not on this one, so I'm just going to leave it and we'll proceed from there. I tuned it up just quickly by ear. Now I want to remove that eraser back there that was supporting the trem. I was doing work on this thing, so excuse my shoulder. Try and grab this thing. There we go. Alright, so now the trem is free floating once again, and we will tune properly. I had to reorient the springs. I just ran them parallel. I had to tighten that claw a bit. And I got the tuning somewhat close. Pull this trim off now, I don't need it. Now I got to set the relief. So we're just going to check that. Okay, yeah, so we got way too much relief now since I, straightened the neck and stuff. Let's just check, see where we're at here. Okay, that's pretty good right there. I'm just going to give it one more tweak. That should bring it to where it was before. There's very little relief. Okay, so that's pretty much straight right there. Action. It's not bad. It's a little high. With a Floyd Rose, you can't adjust the height of each saddle. It's pretty much like a typical Gibson, with the TOM bridge. You just kind of adjust the whole bridge up or down. So that's what you do with these screws. You measure the bass string, you measure the treble string, and you get your height there and hope for the best. The way I'm going to do that is we're going to put the trem back in. I'm going to release the pressure like on the strings, and then I can turn this adjustment down some. Yeah, it's easier. Give like a quarter of a turn. We'll double check. A little high there. Pretty close on the treble side, actually. All right, we got it. I think we're good. Okay, just retune quickly, and holding tune. So, pretty good. Not too shabby. String alignment looks really good. All right, we are ready for intonation. So let's do that. One thing I want to check while we're set like this is see if I can get the low D from my fine adjustment screw here. Yep, I can. Perfect. So I will put that back where that was. Make sure the other ones are all even. This one will be just a little bit lower. So pretty much to get that low D, so all the fine tuner is about halfway through the plate, but the E string one is lower by about the thickness of the top of the tuner. So you can see it's a little bit lower, and that will allow me to back it off and get that low D once this is locked into place. Okay, intonation. Let's see what we have to do here. So, open string. Fret a note. Okay, that E string has to move back a bit. So does the B. The G is perfect, doesn't have to move. D has to move back. A is perfect. E is perfect. So we have E, B, and D have to move back a little bit. Let's get this done. All right, so I would guess this is where the pain in the ass comes in for setting these up. Because once you release the screw, this whole saddle is going to just snap forward under the string tension. So you have to loosen the string tension. And then I put some packaging tape on the tip of a just screwdriver. So now I can use the screwdriver as a lever and I can push this saddle back, right? I kind of knew where it was before. So I can move this saddle back just a smidge and then I can tighten down that locking screw. Let me just tighten this tape here. And then we'll try again. So that is the problem. There's no, it's really just guesswork. There's no really fine tuning way about it with a typical saddle where you can just adjust the screw and it pulls it back for you. So there's no way to do that on these. So you just kind of be creative and move it back and lock it down and then recheck. So then that means you're gonna have to tighten the string, right? And of course on a Floyd, when you release one string tension, they're all gonna go out. So that's probably why people hate setting these things up. But we're going to do one string at a time, right? So still has to go back. Let's go back more than that. All right, I got it this time. So here's the open string. Here's the fretted note. It's perfect, right in the middle. Snug these up. Put this screw back on. And get ready for a sound check. All right, that's her. Now tightening these squeezes that string at the nut, so we're going to sharpen the tonality. So I guess I could have tuned them to E flat, then tighten these and then adjust them down there. But now I'm just going to have to back off the fine tuners because these are all going to be sharp now that I tighten these up. So yeah, I'll just double check everything again. I already checked the bridge, so I know that's all good. Okay, we're done. Let's give this a little going over the fretboard, so to speak. All right, well, the V is done. Don't mind my fingerprints from, setting it up. I'll buff that out in a minute. Bridge is great, intonation's great. Action's nice and low, as you can see there. Fretboard turned out beautifully. Frets are nice, polished, smooth like glass. Strings are all locked in. Metallic is gorgeous on this thing. I didn't put the cover back on, but I will in a minute. I didn't know if I had to make adjustments back there. So yeah, let's check out some tones. So bridge pickup sounds like this. Very beefy. Position. Oh wow, that's very, very chimey. slap some drive on this thing, see what it can do. I'm totally lost. Cool, man. This thing is awesome. Wow. Maybe not for, Stompin' Tom or anything, but for the hard rock stuff. Wow. Good job, WestCreek. This thing is slick. So that's it. This is the Cerberus by WestCreek. I think they're the Cerberus 3 maybe, or Cerberus 2. They have the full Floyd Rose system. 24 frets, fully accessible, and of course, the locker at the top. Very sweet paint job, beautiful metallic purple, black burst. Man, killer guitar if that's what you're into. Anyway, thanks for following me on this. You guys take care, God bless, and just remember, doesn't matter what the name is on the headstock or what style it is. If you like it, it's a good guitar.